Ever wondered how humans transitioned from observing birds in flight to boarding transatlantic flights? Our story begins with the ancient human, standing in awe as he witnesses the effortless grace of birds soaring through the sky. From the smallest sparrow to the majestic eagle, their innate ability to command the air left us earthbound mortals with a sense of wonder and a dream, the dream of flight. This fascination with flight is deep-rooted in our history. Our ancestors marveled at this spectacle and yearned to break the shackles of gravity. They dreamed, they imagined, and they dared to strive for the skies. The myth of Icarus, a tale as old as time, reminds us of this obsession. Icarus, with his wax and feather wings, dared to fly too close to the sun. Despite his tragic downfall, the tale of Icarus embodies humanity's relentless pursuit of flight. As centuries passed, this pursuit turned into a scientific endeavor. Early inventors sketched and built contraptions to conquer the sky. Among them, a man of genius, Leonardo da Vinci, who in the 15th century designed a creation inspired by the flight of birds, an ornithopter. Da Vinci's ornithopter, a machine equipped with flapping wings, reflected the dream of human flight in its purest form. Although it never left the ground during his lifetime, it marked a pivotal point in our quest for flight, a testament to human ingenuity and imagination. Yet, despite these early efforts, the sky remained an untouched frontier. The dream of flight, despite its allure, was a puzzle that seemed beyond our grasp. Our wings of wax and feathers, our contraptions of wood and cloth, they were but stepping stones in our journey to the sky. But it was not until the 18th century that the first successful flight attempts would occur. This was the era that would finally witness humanity's dream taking flight, the era when birds stopped being the only flyers. And that, dear listeners, is a tale for another time. The 18th century brought about the era of ballooning, a time when humanity's age-old dreams of flight began to take shape, not in the form of feathered wings, but with the rise of the balloons. Imagine the excitement, the awe, the absolute wonder when two ingenious brothers, Joseph Michel and Jacques-Étienne Montgolfier, unveiled their creation to the world. In 1783, the Montgolfier brothers, hailing from France, launched the first hot air balloon. This wasn't just a balloon, it was an embodiment of ambition, of innovation, of the human spirit's undying thirst for exploration. The balloon, crafted from paper and silk, ascended into the sky, carrying with it the hopes and dreams of an entire civilization. The Montgolfier brothers had not merely created a spectacle, they had redefined the boundaries of possibility. The concept of flight had now become a reality, but the quest for controlled and powered flight was yet to be achieved. Cue the 19th century, an era that saw the introduction of steam-powered flight. This was a time of great innovation and invention. Amongst the pioneers was Sir George Cayley, a man whose work on the principles of flight, especially his development of the concept of a fixed-wing aircraft, laid the groundwork for the aviation revolution that was to follow. However, it was the French engineer Henri Giffard who took a leap into the future with his steam-powered airship in 1852. His dirigible, a large steerable balloon, was powered by a 3-horsepower steam engine. It was an impressive sight, 144 feet long and capable of reaching a speed of 6 miles per hour. This was the first instance of a powered and controlled flight, a significant milestone in the history of aviation. These early experiments with steam power opened up a world of possibilities. They sparked the imagination of inventors and dreamers around the globe. With the advent of the steam engine, the dream of powered flight was inching closer to reality. Fast forward to the 20th century, the era that saw the birth of modern aviation. At the heart of this revolution were two brothers, Orville and Wilbur Wright, hailing from the humble city of Dayton, Ohio. These two were not just brothers, but visionaries who dared to dream that man could fly. Their journey began in their bicycle shop, where they spent countless hours designing, testing, and perfecting their flying machine. They understood the principles of flight, studying the flight of birds, understanding the mechanics of balance, control, and propulsion. They were not just inventors, but pioneers, laying the groundwork for the world of aviation. The year was 1903, a year that would go down in history as the dawn of a new age. The Wright brothers, after years of relentless work, were ready to unveil their masterpiece. Orville at the helm, Wilbur running alongside, the Wright flyer took off from the sands of Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. It was a flight that lasted only 12 seconds, covering a distance of 120 feet, less than the wingspan of a modern-day Boeing 747. But it was a flight that changed everything. It was the first time in history that man had taken to the skies in a heavier-than-air powered aircraft. It was a testament to human ingenuity and perseverance. The Wright brothers had done what many had deemed impossible. They had flown. But they didn't stop there. They continued to refine their design, achieving flights that lasted several minutes, covering miles instead of feet. They pushed the boundaries of what was possible, setting the stage for the rapid advancements in aviation that would follow. It's important to remember that these were two ordinary brothers with an extraordinary dream. They didn't have the backing of a big corporation or the support of the government. They had their determination, their ingenuity, and each other. The Wright brothers had changed the course of history, but the world of aviation was just about to take off. Enter the jet age, a time of rapid progress and extraordinary innovation, where the power of flight was propelled to new heights by the advent of the jet engine. During the throes of World War II, necessity became the mother of invention, and the jet engine emerged as a powerful tool that would forever change the face of aviation. The jet engine, with its remarkable ability to compress air and fuel to create a forceful thrust, offered a level of speed and efficiency that was previously unimaginable. This was a far cry from the propeller-driven craft of the past, and it opened up a world of possibilities for both military and commercial aviation. The first jet airliner to grace the skies was the de Havilland Comet. Launched in the early 1950s, the Comet was a marvel of modern engineering. This British-made airliner was not just a symbol of national pride, but a beacon of a new age where jet-powered flight became the norm. With its sleek design and impressive speed, the Comet was a testament to the potential of jet technology. Yet, the jet age was not without its challenges. The Comet faced a series of disastrous crashes due to unforeseen design flaws, leading to a temporary grounding. But these setbacks didn't stifle progress. They only fueled the drive for improvement and safety in jet design. And then came the Boeing 747, a giant leap forward in the jet age. Introduced in the late 1960s, the 747, fondly known as the jumbo jet, revolutionized long-haul travel. With its iconic hump and capacity to carry hundreds of passengers, the 747 made air travel accessible to the masses, and the world became a smaller place. The jet age was a time of speed, power, and progress. It saw the birth of commercial air travel as we know it today and paved the way for the incredible advancements in aviation that would follow. The jet age had revolutionized aviation, yet the sky was no longer the limit. The final frontier? Space. A new age dawned upon us in the mid-20th century, an era that saw the ambitions of aviation soaring beyond the confinements of our blue planet and reaching for the stars. The space race, a gripping chapter of human history, unfolded as a thrilling competitive saga between two superpowers, the United States and the Soviet Union. It was an age of fierce competition and unprecedented collaboration, an era that redefined the boundaries of human achievement. As the 1960s rolled on, the world held its breath and watched as the United States launched the Apollo program. This was mankind's first real attempt to send a human to the moon. The Apollo 11 mission in 1969 was a monumental moment in the history of aviation and human exploration. As Neil Armstrong took that one small step, he left a footprint not just on the moon, but also on the hearts and minds of millions watching back home. It was a testament to the incredible leaps of progress we had made since the first flight of the Wright brothers. The next significant development in the era of space travel came with the introduction of the Space Shuttle by NASA. An ambitious project, the Space Shuttle was a reusable spacecraft that revolutionized space travel. It made frequent trips to space a reality, enabling numerous scientific experiments, satellite deployments, and construction and maintenance of the International Space Station. The shuttle era, which spanned over 3 decades from the early 80s to the early 2010s, marked a significant shift in our approach to space exploration. As we look back, it's astounding to see how far we've come. From the dreams of flying like birds to exploring the cosmos, the journey of aviation has been nothing short of extraordinary. So what does the future hold for aviation? As we look beyond the horizon, we see a sky teeming with possibilities. Among these, three key developments stand out: electric planes, supersonic commercial travel, and space tourism. First, let's talk about electric planes. Picture a world where flights are as quiet as a whisper, and the air is clean, free from the carbon emissions that currently plague our skies. This may sound like a distant dream, but it's closer than you think. Innovators around the globe are tirelessly working on electric planes, driven by the goal of achieving a zero-emission future. These planes, powered by batteries or hydrogen fuel cells, promise to revolutionize air travel, making it cleaner, quieter, and potentially more affordable. Next up, supersonic commercial travel. Remember the Concorde, the iconic aircraft that could whisk you from New York to London in under 3.5 hours? Well, it's been more than 2 decades since its last flight, but the dream of supersonic travel is far from dead. New technologies are making it possible to overcome the challenges that grounded the Concorde, such as excessive noise and high operating costs. If these hurdles are cleared, we could once again see passenger planes breaking the sound barrier, shrinking our world even further. Finally, let's turn our gaze to the stars. Space tourism is no longer the realm of science fiction. Companies like SpaceX and Blue Origin are making strides in developing spacecraft capable of taking everyday people beyond the Earth's atmosphere. Imagine looking down on our blue planet from the blackness of space, an experience once reserved for a select few astronauts, now within reach of many. While we can't predict the future, one thing is certain: the story of flight will continue to inspire us. As we stand on the brink of these exciting advancements, let's remember that the sky is not the limit, but rather the beginning of new frontiers waiting to be explored. Let's take a moment to reflect on our journey through the history of aviation. We've navigated the skies and beyond, immersing ourselves in the intricate narrative of human flight, a story that spans millennia and is still being written today. We began our journey with the myth of Icarus, a poignant reminder of both the human aspiration to fly and the dangers of overreach. For centuries, humans could only dream of flight as they watched birds soar through the sky. But undeterred by the cautionary tale of Icarus, mankind continued to nurture the dream of flight, steadily transforming it from fantasy to reality. The next chapter in our story saw the rise of the balloons. In the late 18th century, the Montgolfier brothers lifted off the ground in their hot air balloon, marking the first human ascent into the sky. This momentous event sparked a revolution in air travel, opening the doors to the world above and paving the way for future innovations. As we entered the 19th century, we witnessed the power of steam. This era gave birth to the first powered airships, which combined the concept of the balloon with the technology of the steam engine. These airships, despite their limitations, marked a significant leap forward in the history of aviation, introducing the concept of controlled and sustained flight. Our journey then took us to the dawn of the 20th century, to the fields of Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, where the Wright brothers made their historic flight. Their invention, the first successful airplane, changed the world forever, ushering in a new era of aviation and setting the stage for the rapid advancements that would follow. The mid-20th century heralded the jet age, a period of rapid technological progress that saw the development of jet engines and the advent of commercial jet airliners. This era revolutionized air travel, making it faster and more accessible than ever before. From there, we ventured beyond the confines of our atmosphere into the era of space travel. The first manned spaceflight in the early 60s marked a new chapter in human history, expanding the boundaries of exploration and redefining what it means to fly. But our journey doesn't end there. We looked ahead to the future of flight, to the possibilities that await us. From electric aircraft to commercial space travel, the future holds exciting prospects for aviation. And so here we are, having traversed centuries and soared to new heights. From the myth of Icarus to the era of space travel, we've witnessed the evolution of flight and the indomitable spirit of innovation that propels it forward. As we look to the sky, we're reminded that the story of aviation is not just about the machines we've built, but about the human will to explore, to innovate, and to transcend our earthly bounds. The sky is not the limit, it's just the beginning. Until next time, keep looking up and dreaming big.